All right. Watch them live. We are live now, and I already see a couple of people have already joined the show. So we wouldn't waste any moment again. So we'll just go dive into our today conversation. So we're quite who join if you are new to this platform. This is the U-Turn platform, a platform that advocate for empowerment. What we do here, we share stories, we also spotlight people like Mary Ajang today who are doing great work in our community so that they share their story and inspire other people to follow suit. We usually hear on Saturdays around 1 p.m. But today, because we have our guests from Australia, which is a different time zone, we are hosting our show today, Friday in North America, and Saturday in Australia. So thank you for joining. Please share this conversation such that you don't know yung abuse story attached to be PWNY. On the U10, we usually uh, speak both English and Dinka language. So feel free to hear if you are Dinka speaker. If you are not Dinka speaker, you also get the opportunity to hear some of English word and you can follow the story. Today I'm joined by my colleague Alakir, who is also a co-host here on the show, and she'll be co-moderating this conversation. We have a very, very special guest, advocate. I call her mentor, and really, really an educator. Mary Ajang. She is called Mary Ajang on her page. If you want to learn more about her, go and follow that page right now. But before I go on and talk about Mary Ajang, I don't want to take the light away from her. I will give her the opportunity to introduce herself. So thank you, Mary, and welcome to the U-Turn. We're really honored to have you, and we are, looking forward to hearing your story and being inspired by you. So before we dive into this conversation and into your incredible work, could you please tell us a bit about, your background, your beginning, and really what shaped you? Like what because of what circumstances? So take it away, but I'll introduce Kuba. What your background? Welcome.
All right. Hi. Thank you very much, the audience and the team that is hosting this one. As Paul said, my name is Mary Ajang. Mary Ajang for people who don't recognize me when I omitted my middle name. So this is Mary Ajang Achua. For your information, so I'm living in Australia for the last 20 years. And that is a big question. I've been thinking about it, but I was not able to narrow it down to one thing. And personally, I'm someone who is always conscious about time. So when I'm trying to speak, sometimes I don't mention my name because I worried about putting too much information. So I'll try to narrate a little bit of myself. So personally, uh, my name is what I have said. So I came from a long, long, long way. I think I'm the oldest in everyone that you ever interview, I guess. So you don't seem to know that. So I have 30 years in marriage plus 18 years of youth life. So title that to get my age. And before I came to Australia, my backgrounds, I came from a Christian family. So I did not reach where my parents used to believe in tradition. So I didn't read that. My father heard the word of God before maybe when I was 3 years old. So I came from a family of 10 children, 4 boys and 6 girls from one mother. So that is how big my family is. So I have a family of my own of 7 children as a single parent. So my work, my education, I think I begin with the education because we need to know me from the very beginnings. So I believe I do not have the formal education that is everyone supposed to have, starting from class 1 to year 8 or to further down. So I left home in 1978 to Ethiopia with my parents and my sibling. I started my grade 1 in Ethiopia. So, and when I was promoted to class 2, there was a war in Ethiopia. We were pushed back to South Sudan and then into Kenya. So I think we spent a year or two before we started another education. So I came to Kakuma, that was in 1992, and I started my primary again in class two. So it seemed everything that we have learned in Ethiopia, we forget about it. It looked like grade one to me, right? So I started in grade one, and I find myself like I was smart. So when I was promoted to class three, I jumped, you know. I go to year four, and that was 1994. So in class four, I did term one. Before I even sat for exam to see what I can get, I got married. Would that make sense? From class two to married, I think that's what I can say. There is no class three, there is no class four. All right. So I was married in 94. 95, I had my first child. In my heart, as someone who loved to have a second language, I really wanted to know, how am I going to get back to school? Will I really be like this? Will I survive with only one language? My heart could not accept that, but there was no way for me to do it. So while I was having my first child in my father's house, my husband was a soldier, a commander in the army, so was back in Sudan. So when I have my first child, I decided to go to adult education classes. And there I started in class five. All right. So I did class five, and the end of that year, that was 1996, my husband got sick and came to Nairobi for treatment and passed away. I was grieving. So he passed away at the end of the year around 11 November. So I don't even know I sat for an exam. Okay. So until January, I didn't know what to do. I think this is the U-turn for me. That is the second question that said that, but this is whereby I have to make a permanent decision of what do I need to do. So that moment when I was married, I had a desire to study, but I had no way to do it because I was already home with a child, and my husband have different plan to take me here to there and live here and there. So there was nothing to do, and I have to be home all the day to welcome visitors. You know how it is. So make the home livable. So when my husband died, I will share a picture to for you guys to know exactly what it is look like. My husband died, and I had to think. Now there is no husband in the picture. I am not educated, and I need to do that, and I am grieving. So finally, I was debating this in my heart, but I finally decided to go back to school because there is nothing else I could do. My heart say, "Can you wait until you remove this bad, black clothes that we wear traditionally?" And my other heart said, "It's a waste of a year because I don't even know how long I will take to wear this." So I remember my first going to primary education because I was also sick with adult education because mentally I was a child. I need like a good education. So I was not comfortable being in adult education. So I decided to join primary. I go to school, I shower in the morning, I do my hair the way you people do it when you are morning, and then I go to class. I was overwhelmed with the grieving to the point that I don't even remember what was taught. When the teacher left, I don't know. But I had to wait for the first exam to see if I could remember anything. So when the first examination came, I remember people coming from Baranam. They say there is a woman in that school. I don't go out during break because the children will like bullied me. I'm wearing black clothes. You know, I'm gripping. You can see I don't laugh. I don't associate. I'm not interacting with people. I just sit there listening to the teacher. When the break comes, I remain in the class. So first time I was number 11, and everyone went outside. No one was following me around again. So I was studying. I did class 6. When I was promoted to class 7 with the flying colors, and that time I'm no longer wearing black clothes, you know. So I was in class 7, and then I decided to do courses in between there. Oh, while I was in class 6, I was doing agriculture course. And in agriculture course, what they taught is the agriculture from 1 and 2. So I commit to that and I was performing well. So that also helped me passing my class 6 with flying colors because it was above what I was also learning here. So class 7, I decided to do another course because I was really like want to do a lot in the same time. So I left for Sudan to do the teachers training course that was carried out by the Red Habana. You know, this course was done to the children that finished year 8 and they want to go home to teach. So I went there and I was doing class 7 by myself. I by myself is encyclopedia. Are you hearing me, guys? All right. I bought myself a encyclopedia and I take it with me. And that time, there was two subjects I could not do by myself, Kiswahili and mathematics.
Wow.
So I cut them off. So I was studying the rest. And then together with the what was taught in that course was like covering year 7, God plan. It was everything in year 7. So, and my name in Kakuma, every exam I have to schedule to come to Kakuma to sit. And when I sit, I'm on the top of the class. My colleagues knows about that. So I did the first term and the
Wow.
second. And when there was a final exam, there was a fight in South Sudan in New Kuch. So the road were blocked. I could not come. So I had 7 days. My bag was packed. You know, when there was this crisis, when someone who do what, this is a big platform. I don't need to dive into it. It's a political things in New Kuch. So there was no moment from New Kuch to Logoshokia until the examination was done at the end of year 7. So I did not sit for the final exam. So I was crying. I don't know. I thought that was the end of my primary without going to hear it as planned. So I came in January and I came and I talked. My teachers loved me because of my performance and they know my term 2 exam were very good. So they let me into class. And I proved myself in the first time before index were issued, you know, that I'm a capable year 8 student. So something happened. The regional coordinator, or whatever Kenyan call it at the moment, came and see the class was more than the usual number that passed in class 7. They wanted to give index numbers with the list, previous year list, and my name wasn't there. I could see how my headmaster and all my Kiswahili, like the Kenyan teachers, fought for this. We fought. And the good news, I was in class with those twins. You know, actually,
Oh, wow.
we were in class together, but they sat for the final exam and they left for Kenya. Now, everyone was making mind, what will we do for Mary? Then the headmaster said, Mary, can you take one name? Can you take one of the girl name and give it to them that I am one? So I choose a God. And
Wow.
I choose a God as me because after he screened everyone, he said, where are the girls from this class? And we say, we are here. And I say, this is a God. And he went into the list to see a God did pass. And already someone who was a thief already used a God name. So the man said, yeah, a God is already been given a number. Where? Why? And we went blank. My headmaster, all the teachers, what happened? We don't know who to. So, and I said, I was here. I did not hear a God being called. And then the person feel like he might tick it by mistake. He might have ticket by mistake. And in that time, to see how God planting, I spell my real name in my paper. I did not have, and the person that I'm talking to and the people that are giving index, they are sitting next to each other. So they hear people arguing that my name is Mary, I got, you know. So when he said, okay, I bring out the paper that I wrote my name and I issue it to the Kenyan secretary that is sitting. And you know, they love that because they were struggling also to spell our name.
Wow.
So my name, they wrote it, Mary Ajang. So, and I was issued an index number. That is how I get my index. So I finally set for my KCP in 2000. Okay. While I was in doing year 8, I also joined advanced English course that was run by WHOS for the student that finished year 12 and they were scholarship like to go outside. They were given that. So I try my best. So I applied for advanced instead of intermediate. That was my level. So I say, what wrong with me failing? So I try, and I was accepted. So when I finished my year 8, I had a teacher's training certificate and I have my advanced English certificate. And then that year, I was employed as a teacher in adult education classroom. I taught for 1 year, and then they promoted me to women education supervisor, to supervision in Kakuma. So I was supervising some zone, like 3 zones at a time. It can be zone 1, zone 6, zone 2. Then the other time it can be Kakuma 3, or some time it will be Kakuma, like Somalia area, zone 5, and zone 6. So I did the women's education for 5 years until I left for migrating to Australia. So that is, and while I was doing that, I think I have done so many training while I was doing that role. So that is the education I have from there before I came here. So if it is not too long and you want to know what I have did in Australia, then you can start from there.
No, I love it. It's enough. It's just enough, and I'm learning so much. I'm learning you are a person who would go after what you want. The passion for education really shines through your journey from the very moment you went to school. You got married. You didn't let that stop you. You went back to school. Your husband passed. You still went back to school, and it's not just going to school class 1, 2, 3. You also look for other avenues outside of the traditional, 8-4-4 system that you grew up in Kakuma. And I'm hearing a lot of resilience. I'm hearing a lot of, um, I would say, resourcefulness, because you are, when people see you and see your commitment, they will come and support you. Your headmaster, the Kenyan teachers, probably somebody from home was pushing for education, taking care of your kid. So I want you to narrow it down. What are the major, I know you remember all the story, what are the two impactful moments that stand out for you in Kakuma that actually inform what you do right now in Australia? And in other words, the two biggest U-turn moments for you. I would love to know them.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you very much. It sounds a lot to me, so even I don't know how to narrow down. That's why I talk too much, and I feel like it's a lot of information. So what I found out was good, that the family, the strength of the family. That when I left my child, I was not thinking about will the child be drawn in water, will my child get lost, will it be bitten by somebody that I don't know. So every time I left my child behind, I think I was to use that resource. If I was sitting next to my child and everyone that was also looking after my child, I was the one wasting the time, because none of these people were able to go to school, and I was sitting next to them as well. Okay? There was an excuse that sometime you may have no water to give to your child. And a lot of ladies that fail to study those years were the one that sit next to their children, worrying about the children not eating. But I say, even if I'm sitting here, what do I give the child? Nothing. So instead of me sitting with the suffering child, let me go and fight for something. Maybe in 2 5 years, we will not. As long there was available resources to look after my child, there were plenty of people doing that. What were the second things? There was second thing you asked.
Yeah, I was saying two U-turn moment. The resource, you took advantage of them around you in at the house. You trust people to take care of your child, but also building relationship at the school, at the adult education, and how you came back from going to school, doing your primary aid exam, to teaching. I take this as a community service. Like, why did you want to be involved in adult education?
Yeah, there were one thing also I was very strong on that I know very well. I was not thinking about what the people still thought. You know, going to class, joining primary, other people were thinking like she's looking to go back to whatever cold law to get married. Because a lot of men are the one at primary education. You know, but I knew in my heart that one day I will end up not married with someone from this season of these educations. And they will know that I was not there looking for men. You know, that is one thing I was confident about myself, that what I was going for is education. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the way that, like, what else can I do? I have to begin to plan because I am the owner of my life now. When a girl, a Dinka girl, is married, you never fit into the hand of your parent anymore. Whether you are back to the house, you are an independent person. Okay. So I was not comfortable not knowing any other language apart from Dinka. And I remember very well when the last term of the school, people didn't even know I have child. And you think everybody know, no one know. The people with me in class, I thought they all know I'm a woman, I have a child, but actually they don't know. Until the last day we were revising, and I and my sister were in the same class because the one that fall after me already passed. He was already in secondary. And I came and started with my sister that followed the other. So there was nobody home that day. Then I said, no, I'm not missing. We bring this child. The child was 5 years old. We bring the child to class. And we set the child between me and my sister. And even now, when I'm listening to a teacher, I don't even remember I have children. I don't remember I have whatever. So I was listening, and my son began to doze. Later, he fell back on the bench. You remember those bench in Kakuma?
Yeah.
And everyone came not knowing he's short. So now I know there is a child in the class. The child felt and screamed, and the whole class got up.
Wow.
And they say, who's this? And he said, Mary Child. And that is the time. I'm happy that it was at last step. So it is Mary Child. That is the time the news went viral. Even the teacher didn't even know I was married. The Kiswahili woman used to beat my hand. Why I wear one clothes every now and then, black clothes. Why I don't comb my hair. I was bitter to explain that I'm mourning, but I just issue my hand. She will beat me. I sit down. Tomorrow I do the same. I come. She beat me. She beat me until she give up.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I will turn it back to Akwal Philip. I have learned so much from your story. I'm just at loss for words on what to say. Rhoda, can you take the next question?
No, yes, just listening to Mary's story now, I begin to understand, the wealth or the wisdom that he shared. I have been actually a fan of Mary for a very long time. Mary makes short clips on her page, Mary Ajang. If you are watching, or if you'll go and watch this conversation later, go to Mary Ajang as well. You will get even more, to fill you in. What we are just discussing here is the full story, but the lessons that are learned through this journey, I can just share one by one, little by little, and now I'm beginning to piece them together. And by the way, this show to get our communication person actually create a workshop, so there are not many viewers. So we'll retrim it again later and have the conversation by our public instead of making a small private workshop conversation. So Mary, thank you so much. Now I understand why you are, making a great contribution and impact, because you have gone through a lot. But you have actually gone through with so much grace, with so much wisdom. Like I just imagine myself as a young woman, but with Jakai man, dear cool, look at Chirkarot, Taka, the bear ben and that. They get paralyzed when I think you with big shock, but you turn that shock into an opportunity to advance yourself, and that is really empowering. So I am really, my next question is really on women and community leadership. How you have turned your adversity into leadership, and I've seen you usually share women empowerment content. You have done so much women empowerment, youth empowerment, also in the communities. So I just want to ask you this: what pattern have you noted? In the community and in your works, your paid work. What have you noted about the kind of support that young people and women in our community truly need? Where are the gaps, and how do you know strive to close that gap through your work and advocacy and leadership?
Sure. Thank you very much for that. It's also another diverse question. because the women actually need to be empowered. And me working on myself teach me that if you are not willing yourself, no one would be able to do it for you. First of all, you need to have the desire as a woman that need to be empowered, and the system can work for you. You know, the support of the people, not to criticize what you have decided, is also important. And there are people who will put you down, even if they are not from your family, you know. But if you're not strong enough, like when I went back to school, my parents understand as long as I get up of bed, not to cry all night or no day. So they were happy to let me do whatever I want. But the community was taking it the other way. She's going back to go where the men are all the time, you know?
Negativity.
Yeah. If I was to be threatened by that, I would have not done anything. So I remember when I was promoted to secondary, I was in Kakuma secondary, and the people will ask this question every time I cross the middle of the school. People say, "Is it a woman? Is it a teacher or a student? Is she a teacher?" Because I look like a woman, right? Women should come to school as a teacher.
Wow.
What their expectation is. I was a little bit again trying to adjust. What do I do? And then I had my brothers. Some of them are in US. They will come to my class because I wanted to deploy the same thing, not to come out during break. They come to my class, get me out, let me to stand in the hair, and they talk to me. Is that not a support?
Wow.
So what I learned in my journey to support women was first they need to develop, but there must be people like what you people are doing now. If there are those people, there is one woman who will gain the power, you know, to put themselves in the system like this system, and the system will help you. Like when we were learning in Kakuma, there were not very qualified teachers. Everyone knows about that. But the fact that you go to school, we end up learning.
That's true.
Was it not correct? You come from Kakuma. Yes,
Absolutely.
they were not qualified. There were no book to read. But because there was a system, if you choose to be part of that system, you will be part, you will grow. So what we need as a community is to have that people who try to put themselves in the spotlight to motivate you. And whoever who had a small desire will grow from there. And when they put themselves in the system will help them. In my work with women in Kakuma, I struggle with the people from our community.
Mhm.
When I was supervising Zooms, if I go to Zone 5, I find the class full. I'll find women with their children in the back.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
there's the time I was supervising, especially Zone 2 area, the adult education are empty. If you come, you'll find maybe one disabled man, one lady, and we were the majority in Kakuma. At point we will conduct survey. Are the people in this area well educated?
Mm-hmm.
We find out they have nothing. So why are they not coming to adult education? And there is nothing else was done in Kakuma. You will be sitting in the shadow for all days.
Wow.
What was lacking there is that our Dinka people think when you are married, everything is end. When you have one child, done. You will never do anything because of my child. This is because. So with that inspire me, and I think that is the reason now I have 7 children. I was happy to stop at 5, but I said, look, I know I want to be an example of my people. If I have 5 children, I have become a degree holder later or something. They will say, because Mary have few children, because majority of them will have 6, 7, 8. And I will not. Yeah. So I say, okay, I'll do the same thing they are doing and something on top. And later, when I turn around to say, look, you can do this, and then they will want to present things to me, there will be nothing. You don't have a husband, your husband is in the front line, mine is dead. Okay? And I can do it with the grief. If you are divorced, you're supposed to celebrate. You are not grieving. because he left alive.
I like that.
Why should you not continue your life where someone left? You have 4 children? Yes, I do have 7. That is actually my motivations, you know. And I never know when will that thing happen. That is the funny thing. I never knew that I will be, but in my heart, I say, okay, everything I do, I say I need to show them. I don't want to tell them. You know, I need to show them that you can start from now at my age, learn ABCD and be educated. I never knew I will be paid working in English.
Wow.
When I used to go to class, I want to hear, not even to speak. I never knew speaking come as a byproduct. I was to listen. I want to hear in English. And when I begin to hear English, I begin to speak without my permission. Not knowing I will be paid working in English. So, and in less than 5 years, I was paid working as an adult education teacher, promoted to supervision. I was also working for Kenyan National Council of Churches as a health representative. Okay. When I left Africa, I used to receive $100 a month because I was paid 2 jobs.
Wow.
With the English, I learned within 4 years.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Did that answer the question?
No, it does even beyond. Like I just can't wrap my mind around, this wisdom and this resilience that, and I don't even know how you even arrived there. Like I'm still struggling understanding. Bajak sukula golka and titia kwanchen moito, and then I've been making difference. And there are people, I was having this conversation with one of the U-turn ladies. Actual I think we went for a walk. She's here in Ottawa where I am based,
Mm.
and one of young children. She has 2 little kids. And I have 2 little children. And we were just talking about how what you just say. Because of me, yen ka chiri kene belo because of me yen ka chen kene belo. So we were discussing our goals. Yen bo Africa ke lawyer ke law what and she want to certify na law went in Canada or do something better with her life. And also me and Pastor the third one called a PhD, I just postponed PhD, and then we were just and then something came to my mind. Say, we want to say because our children, that's why we are doing this, not because our children can walk in below. And I
Mm.
think maybe a kind or some inspiration somewhere, and we actually reflected on that a lot. One I think, and we even come and share it here one time on the U-turn platform. That sometimes why me like you can think a limitation, but me should actually be the motivation to do better because you want to set an example, you want to set a role model. But the way you have actually done, not even and you are pursuing your education, you are pursuing your self development, and you are saying, and until culture that take the coach. So, and I thought and coach, but that does not even limit me to, to pursue my own personal development. Because at the end of the day, you need individual, you want to buy up, self actualize. Give continually to get in Bakek Express. So I'm really, really inspired by your story, and it has even empowered me more to even not stop at 2 children. Yeah, call a pinya like at the dad.
Yeah,
So
you use
now
that for your education, and that is why you think I will be like you. You were having only 2 kids. What will you say next?
nothing. So this is great motivation. So like you take it away, but you go to Japan and you know, I will great motivation, by any kitchen you think. So now you have no excuse. Take it away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
This
but
is,
that.
I will add also, like, I had a lady here in Australia, very young lady, is your age, and she's pursuing career, you know. She is an accountant, and she have 2 children. She have 1 child that time, and actually, she delivered by cesareans. And her husband is a very good guy, also pursuing. And this girl, she's so scared of having a baby. It will ruin her career. So she was silently doing that. No one know what is her fear. So one day I came to Sydney here and they hosted me. I went to their house. She cooked beautiful foods and we were at the table. And then I look at the child, it's like 5 years. And then we were talking, our community, we were brainstorming so other things. And this girl, I look at her and I say, why don't you have another child? She said, because of my career. She's working on the side, also building her business, and she's working for a government. And she feel like her hand is full. And I say, all right. Then I say, look, what? This is my perception, but I don't want you to apply it. I say, when you work for a lot of money, you build a business. Remember, you have to make a clear choice. If you're going to have another child in a time, whatever will drop because the child definitely will need time. When that thing drop and the child come on board, what will you be focusing on? Will you blame the child for dropping your income, or will you be so excited that you have a child and you forget about the income? For me, I advise young ladies, first, you don't need to build the money and let her drop it to have the child. You will see the child has an obstacle to that. All right. So I say, if you are in the journey, make sure you build your career while raising your family. And when you reach the limit of your family, now take over the career and speed with it. Because you will not think about the things, But if you know you are going to have children later, and it's not in your control either, You may finish everything and you want a child now and there is no child and you will be depressed, not even following the career. I have seen people here in Australia. All right. So make a firm decision. Do you really need children or do you need a family? If you need them, they are not in your choice. You cannot pick them like this. They need time. So this girl did not respond to me. And in 9 months, I was at work and I saw a baby picture in my phone with a and I said, who is my relative who have delivered? So after work I called and she said, Mary, that is your child. I said, from where? She said, when you talk to me? And I said, okay. So I was happy. I said, congratulations. I give her 3 months. 3 months I call her and I say, what changed in your life? Did your business collapse? She said, nothing. The business is growing better than that. She said, now I have my child and my business is growing. So I said, look, that's it. Yeah. So assumption, they never happen. But they are all, that's why it's better to talk to someone about them to get other people's views, instead of making your own and make them real and then keep them. Later you find out they are not right. I'm sorry. Yes.
No, that's definitely a perspective I hadn't thought about before. I'm operating from the point where myth are obstacle, they're hindrance. They will take your energy, your beauty, your youth. At the end of the day, they leave the house. Now you are sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? But I really appreciate you sharing the other perspective where your kids are not an obstacle, are very intentional choice of having a family, and that's your value do you ran kor banang family banang meet, and you grew up in a big family. Of course it's natural to desire banang meet, right? And that has not a can deter, and people will come in with assumption and bias and try to project on you or on other people. Oh, but yeah, oh, and you should prove them wrong. You're like, watch me do it. I will do it. I will not stop at 5. I will do it. I'll get 7 kids and build my career and build a better life and raise those kids right. So we haven't talked about your kids yet, but I believe we talked offline and you're doing an amazing job. They're successful. You are doing everything you really wanted to do. So I want us to focus Australia, right? College, I would say the audience then idea and meet quite an unfortunate situation of divorce. I don't can meet pay. What can you tell them? But like really what can ground them in who they are. Being a mother cannot be undone. Na cha ya man mit ken a chin to be a lertin. A chi mo chi wan a chi ja chi le ba mai chok pin. Ko le barrier ken yen. Um, and you still have dreams. You can't just wake up one day go wala anchi be kurbal actor loy or anchi business de kwancho ka charmo chija or anchi nang me. So what are some practices like personal practices that they you can advise to women to stay grounded through challenges? The challenge for you was you were widowed at young age. My own mother was widowed at young age. The outcome is different, but I do believe she did her best in the absence of her husband Mundea Dangalan Notong during the war of Sudan. So focus on resilience and specifically motherhood. The challenges of motherhood are very real. You take them as inspiration, not obstacles. So what can you say to young mothers? Koining myth, kwa ngot keneng dreams, kwa big nang pa and all that.
Thank you very much, Rakir. It's a big question as well. We're trying offline and at home and with friends, but it never have an answer for it. But my personal views was first you have to focus. For example, if you have a child by plan or by incident or whatever way a child come to you, first you have to accept the fact that you have a child. All right. If you have the child, then you have to do your planning around that child. And whatever you do is to benefit the child. If it does not benefit the child, it's not to be done. For example, if you're staying with the child all day, is the best for your child, then do it. And if there is other thing that you think is better to go and get to bring for the child, that thing is also worth doing. So when I had one child, I never think even I will have another. Okay? Because I was young. That child was born to be taken care by his dad. I never be part of the plan. Mine was to have the child in the tummy deliver and bath, and then whatever milk the husband bring, I will put in the bottle. Okay, that was it. When my husband died, I knew I begin to worry about what this child eat. If he gets sick, that need treatment, what will I do? So first I say, okay, if that is the case, I want to look after this until I make sure that is capable. I'm capable of looking after one. If there is a room for one more, I will find that. That was my mindset. So I look after this child. It took me, and I say, while I'm looking after this child, I will go to school and come later because my mom was there, my sibling were there. Okay. And so I began to look for, okay, when my sisters are married, they will leave the house. My mother is getting older. I have no husband. Maybe if a man want to marry me and he's not interested in this boy, what will I do? So as a mother, I will always be with the boy. If someone don't like this boy, I will be with the boy. What will I give the boy? That is what drives me to do things that I have the power to do so that I can look after my child. So after 6 years, when I finished my primary, my son also started the school. And I could see the need. He needed to be taken to school. He needed to be brought back. He needed to come home and have some food. So that is the time I think about, okay, now I have this job. I look for a job. So that if I have a job, I will be able to be home. And my son will go to school and come home and find his mother. Because the school now is not about me. It's priority is about my child. That is when I have to get a job. And then if you are home, what do? You need one more child because this child needs a sibling as well. It's a part of your plan as a parent. If your child end up having no sibling, can the child make sibling for themselves? It's your responsibility. Okay? So that was me. So I get a job and then I begin to make more children so that my child can have siblings. And I make sure these children also I can feed. So I had my second child. I had my third one and I was working at that time. So when I have the fourth one, I say now this is the right time for me to go far away. And what inspired me was the fight between Turkana and Dinka. That year, my children are small. I have no husband. When there is a fight, who do I take? Who do I left behind? Then I said, no, Kakuma is no longer fit for me because my children cannot walk by themselves. They have no people. The guy I was delivering children with is not my husband, is living in his own place. If the fight start at night, he's running his own way and my own way. So that is what inspired me to think of going somewhere. And I saw that is what gave me the reason to migrate to a country whereby they can have better education, they can be having a health care, and there is no war, no running, because I have no one to pick up one, and I with one. Is that okay? So my children are planned. This is what I would like to say, because I'm not advocating like have 7 children and see what will happen with them. No. When you see, build yourself to accommodate. So when I accommodate 4, I say now it's a time for me to leave. And that year, I was not even sure the guy that is with me will be permitted by the migration to come with me. And I was at the age of making a decision. If he remained behind, I am happy for him to remain, and I'm starting my new life with my children. So I tried. They let him with me. So that was good. We came to Australia. When I came to Australia, I said, okay, 4 children is a great number. As a single mother, I don't even know I would read this. This was plenty to me. So to me, I was done. Until I see a next capacity to hold one more. But if there was no capacity to hold one more, that was going to be the end. So I came to Australia. What I did is, Australia don't even understand all those education outside. So I was like to zero. So I had to begin again. You know, I had this certificate in IT that I don't even remember what were there, because I did the course and no computer. You know, I could remember Microsoft and PowerPoint, but what they look like, I don't remember. So what I did, I said I was embarrassed to have
So
that.
funny.
Yeah, Rhoda also did IT. Well, so I don't know if she remember.
So I had that certificate with me because that is one thing I do later when I was working. So I came, I said, no, this is a shame. So I had to redo this thing so that I can calm myself. So I did certificate 2 in technology. That was the first thing with English certificate in Australia. After that, I enrolled in certificate 3 in business. And now I tell myself, you know what I can do? Those courses, I go to class late because I have to take my children to school. And I have to leave early because I have to pick up my children from school. But I say, what? I'm better than someone who never enrolled. Even if I fail, the 2 hours I finish in class, they're better. So I was not even listening. If the teacher say, Mary, you will leave early, you come late, this is, I don't even hear. Tomorrow I come the same time. Because what do I give up? Do I leave my children in the house? Or do I leave my 2 hours that I have in the middle of the day not to attend because I don't arrive on time? They put it as African behaviors. I know what it is. I don't even insulted by that word. So later, I profit because I have to spend a night study. I remember my daughter was breastfeeding while I was doing that course. When my older kid go to bed, the one that go to school, I'll put this daughter here. I set her here. I put her arm here, and I tie her leg on me, and I pace her the computer so that she doesn't move around. And now I'm tired. I'll be doing that. If I take her to bed, she will wake up. Yeah. So I will be typing. If it is 2 a.m., now my eye, I feel dry. I will look at the time and then I see it's 2 a.m., but I'm getting up anyway at 6. I will pack up. That is how I study. When I finish my certificate 3, before I finish my certificate 3 in business, I was employed. And this is my milestone. I say, if I'm not employed, I'm not leaving class until I go to university. Yeah, I will be studying while looking after my children. Yeah. So I tried to look for a job when and I got accepted as a liaison officer for African migrant Australia. That was a beautiful job. My office was in level 3, I was celebrating. I said, look. So that I finished the course while I was working, you know, and that job felt like I'm doing nothing because I was told to read the policies for 3 months and I'm getting paid and I feel so embarrassed, like I'm eating money for nothing. So I worked there and I felt like, no, I don't have more kids because I will do this. So I worked there for 4 years and I was also doing a youth support on the side as a second job while looking after my children. When my child that I bring from Africa was 7 years, she was tall. My woman, Sudanese woman, began to talk to me. Mary, they are leaving you now and you are still young. Why are you not having kids? I said, no, I cannot have more kids. I and my colleague, white people, we even talk about who has 7 children, who has 8 children. So after that, I began to be scared because there were 2 ladies in my family that have one have 2 children, another one have 2 children, and now the children are grown up and they cannot even live in the house they bought because the house is too big. If they work, the whole income go there. No one talking to them in the house. They have to rent out those homes and they have to join a partnering accommodation. This woman tell me, Mary, in few years you will 6 people to partner with you because these children are going to grow old and you are still young. And that one, okay, it was a practical thing now. I thought that is when I had a plan to have my 3 little kids that are with me now. Even now, I was to be by myself because all the children that I bring from Africa, they are grown up, they are working. Some are working interstate somewhere. The children that this woman advised me are the one with me now in the house, in this house where I am. One is 13, one is 12, one is 10. All right. So what I want to tell the ladies is you don't need to have children, 7 children, because our Sudanese have children. No. If you need to have a child, make sure it's taken care of. Okay. You don't need to, to have a plan to have children without father. You don't need to plan that. First, you need to find the father and make children. But if circumstances come, okay, you have to accommodate it. That is what resilience is. So for the ladies in Australia or worldwide, I said when you have a child, first make sure this child is looked after. And if there is room for more, fine. But if you cannot do it better, liaison with other ladies like you here, like whoever. Like there's a woman comfortable with number of children. Why don't you ask them? How do you make it simple? If you don't want to do that, you are the one sitting on the neck of your children to make them suffer. Yeah. I think you can take it from there. Is there something you want to ask? It's better.
No, until meet, I don't think I have experience to add anything. I am all absorbing the information, listening, and taking your advice. And 2 things: when you have children, it has to be planned. You have to have a plan in place. Second, you have to make sure the kids are well taken care of. So your inspiration clearly and purpose, and it's grounded in your value. You value family, and you always think about what do I need to do for my kids to be well taken care of. And I see that drive has taken you to amazing places. It has taken you to seek education, relentlessly seek education, and seek employment. Right, the hard work, I cannot match that and you need that. Your level of drive is amazing. That's all I'm gonna say, Mary, and I'm so excited and I'm glad to you a call. I'm really honored and thank you all for inviting Mary Ajang. Turn it back to a call kunaning questioning the tea, but I'm you and yanti, you did a bakajalwell.
No, everyone, I was also like you. I thought, yeah, I had working and no meet kuan, Louis kuan, no U10 kuan, get to school, but na ja beti ga ja ja ki me the kuan e chi me da go jeru ako. That level of resilience. No, I'm really inspired by the way. I'm really, really like I see, Mary and I know if anyone video like please share. Sometimes, people I sometimes people learn from other people's stories, and when you see someone experience someone to say, sharing their journey and how they have overcome challenges that you are going through, it motivates you to even do more, right? And if you watch this conversation, please share. And if you really want to have deeper relationship, a deeper meaning or deeper sense of support, kin loy Mary Ajang loy follow this conversation. I took a workshop style, but a book stream. So later on again, and a bit on YouTube, yeah, on Facebook, Instagram. Please share it if you come across. Maybe someone in your network will benefit from Mary's story because it's very powerful. It's very real. And the way Louis share is authentic. Like you can relate. Imagine when I teach, like kid said in my undergrad, and right now I don't even remember anything. So when you say you gave the IT certificate and you don't remember what was that. I will share with you, I really, because it connects with me and not many people. Learning has to be continuous thing. I think you learn. Degree to Japan, but so you have to upgrade yourself, continue upgrading yourself. And of course, Mary, you can go before I have the next question.
Oh,
No, you
yes.
want to
I want to say something like here and the team of young people that have no children. There is this say that says limitation is the best friend of architecture. But if you are not architecture, you need to stretch out yourself. So I was talking to the guy here in Australia. They have 4 children, and it's him and a wife. And he was saying, you know what, we cannot have more children because of we need to give our children the best and all this kind of stuff. Me coming from our African background, and I know he's from the same community. I asked him this question. I said, look, what is it that you are going to give to your 4 children that has not been given by the other? I thought if you want to take them to private school, a single woman have done that with 7 children. You want to build them a house, single woman with 6, 8 children have done that to their children. So what is it that will be a difference of 4 children being taken care by 2 parents? What is it? You should have to have that clear vision. What is it that you want to give your children that is not been given? But if you just say, I want to care for them, I will have them beautiful life, what is that meant to you? What I want to say to you, Alakiro, is you building a career, okay? If you want to build a career as a young child, after your career finish, that will be the end of your story because we will carry it on. Everyone learning from the other family is not coming to you. But whoever have a career and one of your children pick up your authentic whatever and carry it on and make it bigger, better, then you have a legacy. So what people are putting is limitation, yeah. Having 2 children. There are people here in Australia, when this contraceptive come in, you will have 2 children, you say, I'm done. You go for the doctors to cut your tube and this. When the child is 15, is found out to be autistic or whatever happened. This one is like this. Now you want to have 1 more. You are still in the reproductive age, but you already do what? Was that in your control? Even if we have this, it's something that I will never do until my age comes. My age will cut me off, but not me. Because in case you will have a desire to have a child, because all of the other children, whatever happened, you never know. Okay. That is a message to the youth. Your legacy needs someone to carry it on. We now talk about South Sudan share. We won. If Dr. John have no children, his history would have almost to finish now. But if he has a child that will one day step in, there will be connecting. And that legacy will be carried forward. So define exactly what is it that you want to give. And children, they cannot be taught. They will see you doing it. If you're a career person and you have children around you, then that will be nice. You don't teach them, they will pick it up and run with it quickly. But if you don't have a children, you are just doing it for yourself and you cannot even do it the best and end up later with depression at the end. you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
My reading,
No.
my reading habits, now my children are picking it up. I'm so pleased. My first son, now his bed and my bed are almost similar. My bed, the whole, the whole hit is a bookshelf. Because I have a book that if I go to my bed, my heart say, yo, if I can go and get that book to come and read, if I can go. So when my first bed, I move and I buy a bed that have bookshop. So when I'm sleeping and I wake up and I'm sleeping, I will just open, grab one. Sometimes I end up not reading, but because it's so close, it's comfortable. My older son is picking it, and how he pick it? My car has an audio that book called Slide Age. It talk about the slide, and it said the slide age mean the difference between success and failing is so slight that you cannot even see it. You can be here closer to success, but you feel like you are successful, but you can be here failing and thinking that you are a success person, but you're already on the side of failing. You need to figure out where is that line. Are you where? That book is stuck as an audio in my car, and every time my son picking up kiddo, he will listen, and he talk about set your goal, and it pause. It's pause for you to set goal number one. Pause. By repeatedly talking to my son, begin to pick up and pile his book. Now he has the same book shelf on his bed in somewhere, and the children. This boy read way better than I don't even know. He's reading this big book, but I can read only 320 pages in a. Yeah. So children will pick it up. My third one is picking it up, but it's not like nothing. But whatever you're doing, and you have no immediate people who is picking it up to carry it on and do it better.
Wow. Wow. That is some real advice.
Yeah, I was telling this son of mine, that is the one we are now. I tell him, you look, you go to work, come home, play with my children. Go work, come home. And I tell him, now you're playing with someone else's kid. When wife arrives, that is the year you want to do 2 jobs, 3 jobs. If I was you, I will not come home now. I will work, go to home, go to work, go to work, go to work. When my wife comes, that is the time I will reduce my work. So I have time with my children. Now that boy took it. He was working 3 jobs. He will go and sleep between if it is 4 hour gap, he will go and sleep in his car. And recently, he's working now in an office job. He starts sometime at 9, finish at 7. I say, now you are deserving to marry. If you can eat dinner at home, you are the right and married. But if you have that job that start at 3 o'clock, finish at 2 a.m., don't even think about marriage. No, you are not yet a husband. Who will eat your dinner? Why should your wife cook? Yeah.
No. I just want to keep listening. But Damanda core, so I will take your advice, Mary. I am in the process of making my strategic plan for 2026.
Good.
And since we've had this conversation, I've had an idea of putting a chapter for family. Me, I value family, but I need to create my own because a family
Your
come
own,
on, yeah.
yeah, your own is the best to
Yeah.
your desire, but you cannot design someone else's home,
No, I need to design my own. Like, what habits are my kids going to pick up?
right?
Me?
Alakira, yeah, if you can go in your way, need to not clear on the weekend. So I want to say, you can't die or we can't be like, why you dead? Our goal is not book, Alakira. Or book are discouraged from taking care of other people's families and starting the
No, no,
own
no.
or
Good
your
thing, good thing like here, you gamma we are. Gamma warning time frame, warning time limit. Because when you want to give someone something, show them how to do it. That is the bigger gift. Okay. If you give people, you are guiding them down not to do their own, and that is blindfold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is your source for money? And how long are you gonna give them?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Give sustainably. Give ideas.
yeah.
Anto yuta na kwa yung da. Ya wuke po.
Thank
So we offer to give ideas for now. Can I join you guys? We should
Let's give
people
ideas.
to waste your own money, not give them hand out. Any kind of
you. Yeah,
value.
yeah.
Any kind of mission.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. What on top of how, and you have a very important commitment after this. So I want to go roughly on the question of immigration and identity and the crisis that come with it. Because you know what here. Anong ran ye jam le Facebook. I learn pan America. Kota wutin ago jam because you know to Australia or Europe e ka bogo je mian on watch yin go lo ko ha kwet system mit ku a lo into the system or into the system ya pia and you know got a bagum thing that in to create ben but yin in kurbaja so yin Mary you have been here for 20 years now Yinchi Lui and Yinchi system at Ajala dating because it takes a lot of time for you to understand system. The system make sure you are watching them to see how they are navigating the issues of identity, belonging, and the challenges that come with it. If you can, for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, if you can share some of the life lessons, Glenn, you know, being a refugee and now being a migrant, now you're Australian, you can call yourself now Australian because you know, so what have you know what are some of the lessons Jackie learned the you know the resilience can yield from displacement and war and the opportunities and challenges you can make pan Australia chin can be taken and now looking back the kay yung balle na ran de kan pida pang de kan mit a ne or ran the top pure better no ku that na che heaven na ngai ka pia o kara ke what are some of the lessons the bucket share.
Well, that's good. Thank you very much. Personal experience. Even now, I will not look forward to bring people here. That's not what I wanted. And there's another challenge behind there. Even if someone in Africa think is better here, and someone here like me here, if I go back now, because I have little kid, I would have moved back sometime. There are better opportunities in Africa than here. Better opportunities in Africa than here. Okay? Because in Africa, there are a lot of people you can put your child down next to somebody without their permission and then leave and go and do something. Okay? But here, you have to make sure where did you leave your child? And when are you coming back? All right. What I have learned for myself when I came here, I was so desperate to support people back home. You know, I wanted to do because I could understand when you call and you don't have this, I understand it. So I tried to do until it was to the point that everything I was here was not taken care of. You know, because every time you give, someone go and praise you, and someone next think about their problem and hand it them to you, and someone else think about, it was circulating like that. What I did was I am very soft-hearted. If I had $1 now in a can and you call me and tell me this, to me it feel like you see it. I don't even know you don't. Yeah. I feel like you saw the money. And I believe it's so bad that God knows everything you thought about, leave alone the money in the bank. So my money that I try to save will end up being given away before the next pay. So what I did was I make sure I have to invest. I have to pay. I make sure I commit my children to a school that someone will really sit and intend to teach them. I put them to private. And instead of putting them to public, and I'm giving the money to the people, no, because someone will be looking after that, like it's being paid for. So I buy book for myself because if I spend $20 for myself this month, that is my money. That $100 in the bank will be definitely taken by someone who is sick, someone who is did this. So I make sure when I buy my book, that's where I build my library. That is my investment. I have to pay for courses. Because if I save $1,000 for a year, it will end up being taken by people who are sick, who are this. But I have to buy a ticket for a seminar. I have to pay for someone to teach me something because all the information that is valuable is not flooding on the social media.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it's one thing that I don't even know how to do with my people. If we tell people now register for $25 for the next show, no one will show up. Yeah? And when you're listening here to Mary, those information that I'm giving for free, I did not get for free.
That's true.
You know, I buy the book, I spend the time to read it. I buy seminars to listen to people who have turned their life around. Very expensive ticket that I have to go to another state and sleep for 3 days in a hotel, and pay for 1,000 ticket. Right? So you invest in yourself. That's what I can say. Don't even think you build the money. For example, I see people saving money. They have own a lot of electricity bills, a lot of water bills, and they are having 1,000 or come in the bank. That is not your money. You are lying. Make sure you have no debt to someone. Okay, when you pay your debt and you have $20, you give it to someone who need it. That's it. You are good. Someone who have good story is rich than someone who have bad story. So what I do to save myself is I make sure that I invest in myself. Okay, so that I can be employed next and get more money. So we divide it still. But if my knowledge expire, I will not get money, and they will not get some, and then we all will suffer.
Wow, wow, wow. Halakir, you can ask the next question. Thank you so much. There is nothing that beats self development. And you will look when we start U-turn, I think what we are 3 years early next year. We've been operating for the last almost 3 years now. And we bring very important guests like you to come and share your story and experience free of charge. Voluntarily, you give your time and all the investment you into yourself. And for some reason, of course, right now, many people know the U-turn and they watch it. But when we started, maybe around talk about that, and this is free ideas, free life story. That you have spent thousands and thousands of dollars to be who you are today, and then now you tell my people, there are many people who are begging us to be speaking English, a language they understand, but you don't know for a gold. We want charity to begin here. Our people come on and sometimes I cheer out a date. So when you emphasize this, it warmed my heart and it warmed Alakir heart and all the U10 people who are here volunteering their wealth of knowledge, their time, and to bring positive conversation in the circle of our community members to really create forum ben ko you nimbe awar because way because encourage because walk away for you cook we need to learn from each other. I'm learning from you how you navigate life in Australia. Can you single-handedly how did you manage it? Kin ko kwan su kulcho ko kwan su kulcho kwan kirka no no baran single ena ci to ngana pan Africa wan na win wai ku ngadu ku malen la yini kwan mu mit kin yete and here I can ko yin ka mu mit kuin ka lu yin ka kwan su kul we need to share notes. Back home, we also need book or book a bigger cultural war. Ye come opportunities to that le ben book and land and book not to cork book do one plan or pathway ben work like shopping. Now no ko to the tea ben in a stories kwa chiga pin so ran a ben it rod you and not to. So this is really important and I am really grateful you are sharing this on the U10 and empowering community members. I know if now in your unpick Ben and Abigail I know it's very hard to join this conversation because a Rosette Care workshop, we usually have exclusive conversation just for ladies only. So this one, I said, yeah, can no more live show in Iran, but we will make it a show after this. I will go and stream it again for people to follow from the beginning. Because it's very powerful and we need everyone to hear, not just our close circle to hear it. So thank you for joining and the clear replay from the beginning. So Alakir, we still have 15 more minutes, so you can ask the next question. Then I'll then finalize with the U10 message question. Kubu show that here.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
Add something about migration. Identity, I mean. I talk about identity and what I like about like belonging. That question, that's the identity and belonging. So what I like about coming to Australia is when I was in Kenya, I felt like I will go back to Sudan, you know, And it was not happening until 17 years. Even if I was having beautiful money to build, I was not going to build a concrete house because it looked like I'm going back. That is the effect of not belonging when you don't know how long you're going to be here. So when I came to Australia, I remember clearly my first day when I landed and I was walking, you know, in the street. I looked and I was so happy. I felt like I own one of the building in the street. Why? Because I know this is the destination I have chosen. I know if I have the material, I would have started building my house the first day I arrived in Australia because I knew I was going to be here. That is the feeling you need to have. As a mother, for example, and you do not accept being a mother, you always feel like you are migrating. You know, you need to accept. For example, you migrate from your mother house to your husband house. If you don't feel like you own it, if you don't feel the sense of belonging, you will not perform best. So to us, the migrant now, when I look at people, especially the Sudanese, it looked like the white people went and distribute form in the street, not telling you that you are coming here to sit here permanently. It looked went and forced us to come here. That is what I saw. Because everyone is sitting here and want to go back home, which means that your mind again not belong to you. And when you were there, you were not in Sudan, you were in Kenya. But Sudan was free for you to go, and you didn't went. Is that not confusing? So, my message to all of us here, maybe the people that are going to see it later, you have to make that decision clearly. Which one is your home? Is it where you are or back home? If it is back home, who bring you here to make you sit looking there? If this is your home and you want to extend it, that is, make sure you focus here first and then go there as a visitor. And if you see the opportunity, then no one will refuse you to pick it up. If there are better opportunities in the South Sudan, that's great. You pick it up. But you need to know between here and South Sudan, which one is your place. If you don't have that, you have not made a decision, and no one else is going to make it for you. It is you. And until you make that decision to know where you belong, and then you begin to make concrete and permanent things. Like you owning a house, for example, here, yes, you will have those plan in place, and it will narrow down your income to stream it to one place. Okay. When you decide, let us South Sudan is your home, that will tell you to sell away this one. But if you have not owned anything here and you have not yet owned anything there, where are you? So yeah, it is still a personal decision. Your identity, it will begin by knowing yourself. And when you know yourself, you know what it is. And there is this book, you girls, you are readers. It begins with why. Everything you do need to start with why. If you don't know why you're doing it, it is a waste of time for you, and it will be a waste of resource because it will end up somewhere you don't even like. Like if you come here not knowing why you're coming to outside, that is why you're struggling. But myself, I came here for good health. There are better doctors. Yes. Now when I'm sick, they don't ask me for money first. So I'm very grateful for that. And that is the reason, even if now, if that thing not happening in South Sudan, I will go for a visit and come back here. Here there is open to educations. It is up to me by a citizen or not. If I'm still not a citizen, it's not their fault. They give me a deadline. When you are 4 years, you can apply. And the citizenship give me all the opportunities. My education loan is already approved before I even enroll. If I'm not going to class, it's not because of I am not belong to this country. If I feel don't belong, it is my own mind who's telling me. Yeah. So that is all about who you are. Begin with you. Yeah. There's something to do with leadership also. I see that question.
Yeah,
Leadership.
yeah,
Leadership.
go for it.
Yeah. Leadership is not about waiting to be a deputy somebody. Lead yourself first. Tell yourself what to do. You want to read? Do you tell yourself? Do you make it through? I tell my children, when I want to start reading my books, I'll look at the pages. How many pages? Divided it by, do I want to read 15 pages a day? By that, it will give me a number of days. I write it down. If I did not finish within time, I rate myself, I'm failure. I failed to achieve what I set myself for. Simple. I don't need someone to tell me what I didn't do. That is leadership. If you cannot do what you tell yourself, why do you expect to tell other people to follow you? You already got sibling. By default, if you are the oldest, you are leading them. If you have children, you are a supervisor already. If you have husband and children, you are a manager. So if you can do that well, you can lead bigger community. But I see now people are demanded by the community to go and start working for the community before you even work at home. But you know what a community is? It's a group of people with similar things. Sorry, my phone is about to die. Let me put the power.
Okay.
Yeah. I already set it up, but I didn't put it in. Now there is a huge demand outside there. The community want you to do this. You want to be part of this community. And if the family, the small sub location are not built, then the community will definitely fall apart in the future. When I came here with 4 children and my children were grown up, I was told, you come here, do this for the community. I said, look, community, I will reach it. There is a time for it for me. I refuse. People hate me for that. But I say, you know, the better community is when there is a strong family and another strong family and another strong family. They make a better community. So yeah, what we're starting now is extension of, if we are strong, we are standing on our feet in the home, we can extend our hand to help not very many, but maybe one more other. Yeah. So even me, I say we are not here to water all the forests. No. Yeah. We are here as a system. Whoever fit themselves must grow by default, even if we don't tell them anything. Yeah. So like what we are sharing here, what you've gone through, what I've gone through, they are different. Like Akwal said before, that I feel like I'm doing so much. It's happened, especially we as a Dinka, because no one doing much. We feel like we're doing too much. But when you associate with people who are doing more than enough, you will feel like I am sitting doing nothing. You know? When I'm reading my books, I have to sign the time I finish reading that page. Sometimes it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. So where do I have a time as a woman? My children will be there by 9, 10. We are fighting to. They refuse to go to bed. If I let them, they go up to 12. So in my house, 10 o'clock, if I hear someone, if I have a gun, I can fire it in the house. Yeah. 10 o'clock, everybody need to go. And that is my time. From 10 to 12, I am reading. And if the book is so exciting, it's up to me. So thank you very much. You can take it on.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. We would have loved this to continue forever because you are just dropping more powerful word, more powerful work that you are doing. And it just, it just tell us, the kind of person that you have become for the work that you have put in yourself. And now, the work that you are sharing. Personally, I'm also learning, and I really appreciate the fact that you said that we cannot water the whole forest. One of my boss and my big boss actually say you cannot boil the ocean. Now this one And this is what we have been doing. We have been boiling the ocean. Better fun again. All problems, a better one and a better body, I will solve. But at the end of the day, we'll agenda and we all fail. That's the leadership problem also that we are encouraging, encountering in our community leadership and organization. Here, we want to do everything and we don't have capacity. And how you have, you know, consolidate your energy and time, to put it into areas that have larger impact. Corrupt chopping, convict chopping. Now you're burning to the community now, and you share that wealth and have been, that is very powerful, and that is a big, U-turn lesson to learn personally. So, Alaki, we want to wrap up the conversation. I want to give you 1 minute to share your U-turn reflection, what based on what you have heard from Mary. What if you were to go away today? If you were to go and advise and can show thing or anti time ben show ben what you can in a coffee shop, what would you say? What would be the U-turn message to tell that person? And then after that, Mary, I have a question then. I have a U-turn message that I share to our audience, and then we will close the show. Live stream.
Absolutely, absolutely. Message by share today is being open. Like story Mary be open to opportunities. And that is not something, I don't know if it's something that can be taught. It seems like a very innate ability that she is always open to opportunities and she create the time. Coach returning excuse, I included, has so many excuses. The reason I don't do this is because there is this, the victim mentality in and the blaming. We need to not stay too long in the victim and the blaming mentality, but look around and say, hey, now that this has happened, what can I do to alleviate the situation? What can I do so tomorrow can be different from today? Because if you're sitting in a problem, there's no action, that situation is never going to change. You need to act. It's literally science and physics. I don't know which Newton law of motion, but if an object is in motion, it will continue to be in motion. And you can be in motion, things are getting worse unless something happened to you. Your mindset has shift. You think about, okay, cool, what can it change for me tomorrow? For Mary was going to school and learning English. That's it. Very simple idea. I'm going to learn English and look, so I'm gonna go out with that mindset. I'm inviting everyone to open up their mindset about different values. All those victim mentality and blaming the system, the parent, the mo, and that's the word lobby can end with Koi Kanisa. I thank you very much, Mary, for volunteering your time. I know you're very busy. We really appreciate this gift, Jay and Wokekola, and thank you, Akwalakur. As always, star of the show, doing amazing things. I'm grateful to be your partner in doing this. Shukran.
Thank you so much, Alakir. And Mary, take it away. What is your final U-turn message? What would you love audience or something that they take away from all this if they were to remember what I die U-turn today and Mary and okay jam. Kayo ngule bigu lweli chicken lom na ngin beneke he then like shopping and change their communities and the way you have changed yourself and change your community.
Yeah, thank you very much, girls. I don't take this one lightly because it is something that I've been dreaming for, but I don't know who is going to do it. There are some time I refuse to take videos of myself and to post it. I say one day someone will ask me to talk. So this day, this is the beginning, and I appreciate it. Yeah, my final words, I don't know, I cannot say to everybody, but maybe to ladies, is that as a woman, you're never free. You will never have free time. If you are a girl, you are always responsible of this, that. So you have to create that time. Like, and thank Alakir. Even me, I didn't even know how to summarize what I thought is like being open to opportunities and be willing to learn. Don't assume that you know it all. Always want to know. So, as a woman, whether you have children, always wanted to know something, want to improve, okay? And be the best you can, you know. So, in terms of adapting, now because of the internet and everything you learned last year is no longer working today, okay? I mentioned I have a certificate in IT and a business certificate here, but still I struggle now to log in into website, this, that, you know. Imagine if you never have those and you are working to do something in a computer or how will you, you know? Even now selling your product, you need to do this. You need to know how to put it up on a website, this. So if you need to survive, you need to adapt and create that time for yourself, okay? So there is a lot of opportunities in Australia for education. You can learn by yourself. Now, I'm learning from you guys and you're not from Australia. And those things are available. There are people who are willing to teach you at night on Zoom, you know, but you have to pay at least $50 or something. But our people, especially the Dinka people, I don't know, they don't like to pay. They want you to ask them for free. If I ask now, I know two of you, if I say, girls, I have something that I need to do, I need $25, you will send it right now. I know that. Or even you go and send me $100. But if I say, you need $25 to register to that page and go and listen to them, no, I don't think you will go and do it tonight. That is the mindset we have. We always collect money now, bring this money. You don't even ask, what are you going to do with it? Issue the money. And then left with nothing. But the information nowadays is to be bought. Even this one of yours, it seems to be free, but I don't think it will last for free. If you keep it last for free, it will die. Next time, I was to put the recommendation to say, when someone needs to speak, like if I ask you next time to speak, I have to be charged. And I love something that is not free because when it is not free, it is worth it. You think about it, you value it. Anybody need to listen, there will be a time in your plan. You will charge people for Zoom, even if it's $5. There is a knowledge attached to that. Like if someone dress up on Sunday, you dress your children, you go to church. The pastor know that you're willing to hear the word of God. That is why they will talk to you firmly about what God wants you to do. Right. But if now the people on this platform who are on the ground there, we don't know what is their motive. I cannot talk hard to them about self-development because that's what shows they ask for it. But if you pay your $25 because you want to listen to this, I will tell you the thing that will not even please you. The thing that will pierce your bone because I know you're ready for that. That is the reason every course in the other communities you have to pay. The higher you pay, the confident you're telling that I need you to tell me where I'm going wrong. Tell me everything I don't do good in my relationship. But if you don't pay, even I don't want to talk to you because I am hurting you. But what is the commitment level for that? So mine is to tell the audience that let them seek validated information. Okay, not the free information like we go now to social media. I say last time, social media is like a garbage place. When you left food over, they are thrown in the garbage. Even if they were good from your house, they mix up with rubbish already. Yeah, if you want to keep feeding on that, that's up to you. But if you need beautiful food, go to the restaurant. It's well set up. You will pay money. So why we are doing this volunteer job is to tell people to begin to seek information that is not free. That is my message. You guys and whoever seek information that are not free. If you're struggling in relationship, there are people who are working in those areas. If you're struggling raising your children, there are people whom you can pay and tell them what is your problem, and they will tell you your blind spot. But if you want to pick from the garbage, we will bring something that is left over and is half decayed. You know. So that is message Teach yourself, read books. There's one thing I want to add. The book that I talked today called The Slight Age. I think I like you summarize it. The Slight Age talk about how do you know the difference between a failure and a success. And the failures are masters of blame. They blame the weather, the parent, children, government, whoever, system. That is why you need to cut off the blaming. Even if you find someone did something wrong, don't even bother. Because if you begin to criticize them, you are already in the phase of that. You are a failure. The failures, they like to explain themselves without being asked. The reason I didn't go to school is because of my children. The reason I failed in class, the teacher was not that smart. Why I did it? My friend, they show up late and they will explain that is because of traffic. Why don't you accept it? If you take off 2 hours ago, you would have arrived before that traffic. You two girls, don't even blame anybody. If you show up late, pretend like you never saw it, because it's considered failures. They explain themselves without being asked. I have no husband. I don't need to go and say, you know what, I'm a single mother because I have 7 children. Who asked, do I need to tell you where my husband went? Why did he left me? No. You are just a mother with children and continue your life.
Wow, what a great way to conclude this conversation. And you are very right. So if you are watching this show, right now is the good time to really enjoy this for free, because there will become a time where you will not have access. And that time you can be out there on the jam, chicken mo, chicken dark, so this is the opportunity. But alongside that, and the opportunity, Mary Abba share also, we actually offer a U10 course, which I facilitate. I teach that U10 course, a 4-session course. I have, in the past, I do it like virtually, but now I make it pure online, because you can do it at your own pace with no, I'm not there. If you need any question, then you can definitely rate me. It is on the Gumroad being a bush share. So that cost is just $50. And you attend 4 sessions and you will learn so many things. You will learn, how to identify that it's time for a U-turn. Sometimes you don't know that, that slide age, you don't know where you succeed or you are failing or you are all, like you don't know where you are. And that's where this opportunity comes in. We come and through the course you will learn exactly some signs that you might need a U-turn, or if there's no sign, there will be some tips inside book a uni to help you pivot, and we'll teach you how to make alignment. It's one thing to make a U-turn, but a U-turn that align with your goals, with your mindset, with your well-being, with your finances. You cannot water the whole forest. You have to know, align your money with your goals, where you want to be, with your purpose. And we even give you a budgeting template to go and, look at your finances differently. So we teach alignment and how you align your life such that you grow in your whole person through. So we teach 4Fs, we teach faith, family and friendship. We teach, finances, and we also teach fitness. So how to be fit. If you can see me and Alaki, very fit young ladies. so it's part of, we are fit financially, mentally, socially, intellectually. So if you want to be fit, be part of the U10. And of course, Mary Ajang also coaches people. So if you don't know her page, go and follow her. And if you want to be mentored or guided in some specific topics, reach out to her and be empowered. So thank you so much, Mary, for the opportunity. If you are new to this platform, we host our show every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. But we also make an adjustment based on where our guest is, if we are spotlighting a guest. So next week we will not have a guest. We will do a roundtable discussion featuring a woman leader that we emulate. Go you 10 ladies, and you might find interesting to emulate that person as well. So you come and learn about some of women figures that are inspiration to us. And the books, women can go you a queen, she Mary. So thank you everyone. This show book close. A control conversation, but Abu Jala stream publicly. We will engage can people in the comment section and share it widely because we want this message to reach as many people as possible and inspire the next generation of women and young leaders. So thank you, Mary.
Thank you very much. I wish one day you have a topic that you want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to come again. And I enjoy your few conversation when you invited me. I did want to familiar myself because I never watched something to the end. So I came across some few things. So, but yesterday I make sure I watched one full so that I know. And it was, I find some kind of relationship between all of us. We are teachers by background. That's what I pick up from there. And then the teacher always, they cannot keep quiet when they see things going wrong. They want to talk. That is the problem that we have, like now trying to talk here, trying to talk there. So that is the relationship I saw. And teaching is something good. We have to make sure the thing from the past we pass them to the next generation. Okay. And I hope that it will happen because everything start like this. In our community we need to teach our people, you know because somehow when I start this, I used to be afraid of other cultures group. I don't know what are they going to teach me. Will they teach me to violate everything that my community is teaching me? I and you know what took me was the confidence. I say, okay, I myself go first. If it is not aligning with my culture, I know how to control it, and I will not show other people before I filter it you know so we are the filter. If there is something that is not good in our community, we need to approve it and say, no, ladies, you need to change it. This is not longer working. If there is anything in another community that is working, we say, please, this is something we need to work on and bring to our community. Okay, so especially now our community is big in not a husband-wife relationship. It's upside down you know
And that is
Uh,
the next topic that you will come how to build strong relationships. Again,
it's
next topic when working like John.
Yeah,
But
it's something that we need to talk about it so that we are back to the middle, not all the way to do what the men want, but not to be out of contact because it's not good for a community to be single. Every community to be single, even I'm not very proud of that, you know. I don't know in US, I have a respect for you guys. Your singles are less than families. But in Australia, every Sudanese, if not all African, is a single. Whether it's still in a home with a husband, is not. And I'm ashamed of that. And I don't want that to go to the next generation. We need to make sure when the girl and a boy met, they have to officially declare themselves they have married. And if there is a challenge to break up, they should break up exactly, not like pegging it.
thank
So
you.
from there, I appreciate this call, and I hope if there are questions that come, they will definitely come to me or whatever. But I'm not there to answer everything if it is, but no silly question. Everything is a learning, but it's okay. Next time we can meet again and we talk further.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this one a book of stream live and question will have been a book of direct, but the next one will be a topic on relationship and we will make it a public stream and you can take audience question real live on Facebook. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to welcoming you back probably before the end of this year because we want to start next year with a strong relationship. So be prepared for it. We are part of the solution to young people. So thank you. Thank you, Alakir. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good. You will be